What did Jesus said when he was slapped and beaten, humiliated, and he was called a liar, and he was tortured, and they made him carry his own cross. And then after carrying his own cross, they whipped him even more, put thorns on him, humiliated him by giving him a red cloak, calling him a king of the Jews. And then when they put him on, when they crucified him, and they erected the crucifix, there was even two people on the left and right. One was asking him for refuge. The other one was putting him down. Even when he's dying, there's a person there putting him down. And what did he say? Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And that's why Christianity grew to benefit so many people in the world for over 2 millenniums now. Because of this statement Lord Jesus made. Compassion. So if we want to be Christ-like or Buddha-like, if we want to find Buddha or find God, we can start right now by suffering for others, by absorbing for others. How do we start? With the very people we live in that get on our nerves. Quiet. Don't fight. Don't react back. Don't shout back and say back what we want to say to them. In pujas, in teachings, at home, here, there, don't shout at people. Don't tell them off. Don't say anything that comes from anger. Don't cover it by saying you're being compassionate. Don't say anything from anger again if you want to be a Buddha. Don't say anything from anger. Don't do anything from anger. You want to know spiritual practice? You want to know how to start? I'm telling you right now. Don't say and do anything from anger. It is very hard. It's easier to do some mantras. It's easier to make some offerings. It's easier to do some prostrations. But it's not easy to do something. So stop doing something from anger. Start right there. That's spiritual practice. That's Guru devotion. That's Buddhahood. That's finding God. That's tapping into your real nature. Are these words beautiful? Do they touch you? Let it touch you when you leave this room. Let it pervade your life when you leave this room. Don't wait for your guru to criticize you or tell you good and bad. You be your own guru. If you don't want your guru to tell you what to do, you tell yourself what to do. And you tell yourself the right way. Live your life not ashamed anymore. Live your life not embarrassed anymore. Live your life not fighting for attention and fighting for ego and to be right. Live your life to absorb other people's difficulties and give back your happiness. And to develop courage from that. And the courage will grow. And so if you're able to help one person, it will become 10, 100, 100, 200, 300, 1,000, 100,000. It will increase. You will build that kind of energy base, energy nucleus. Why? It starts with just one thought. So when you suffer for the Dharma, when you're tired for the Dharma, when you're exhausted for the Dharma, what is Dharma? Buddhism? No, no, no. No. Suffer for the Dharma means to be happy, to put other people in a state of happiness, and to absorb the difficulties that come along the way. That if they want the better room, you give it to them. That if you have one set of food, you give them half or all. That if you're tired, you push yourself to do something for them because they need it. And to take responsibility. Start now. Right this moment. That's what commitments is all about. That's what keeping Tantra commitments is all about. It is about taking responsibility for ourselves, others, and keeping our Guru devotion. Do you think just because we don't see our Gurus often and we see other Gurus, then we can change instructions? The instructions I received from Saramji was over 20 years ago. I still do the practices I promised him, although I don't see his previous incarnation. Again, he died. I'm not going to go to another guru and then change my practice around, change this meditation, change that, change this, and then what my guru has already told me and I promised. Why? Because I cannot go back to my guru and say, sorry, I can't do it. Can I be excused? He's dead. But the new guru, I can say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I already have a previous practice. I'm not going to switch my practice around because there's a more glamorous guru or glamorous teacher or glamorous center or glamorous whatever. I'm going to stick to what I'm doing because that's what I promised my guru. That's called responsibility and commitment. That's why in my center, in our center in KH, I am very strong in upholding other people's traditions and their practices and what they have received, and I don't switch it around. I enhance it and I add to it. Why? Whose path is more valid? Definitely not mine. Definitely not. Responsibility is important. Keeping our commitments is important. Keeping our samaya is important. Most important, the reason and the result for keeping our samaya, keeping our practice, keeping our commitments is important. The reason is that we can gain the strength and the courage and the merit to take on more from others and give more happiness in return. If we do that, we will achieve great happiness. And the burdens we absorb will become easier and easier. Pretty soon you can take hundreds and hundreds of people's burdens and it'll be of no problem. Why? You've trained your mind. Right now, even taking another person's burden, one person might be difficult. But it's possible. Just as it says in the Lama Chöpa, Buddhas work solely for the welfare of others while infantile beings work solely for themselves. See the virtues of one and the disbenefits of the other. How can we become a Christ or a Buddha if we don't absorb other people's difficulties? How do you absorb? By doing your practice when you find yourself tired. By keeping your commitments when there's distractions. By making yourself study when there's other things that you could do that can just make you relax. By challenging your anger. By remembering the kindness of others. By being responsible. That's how you take on the sufferings of others. Why? By doing that, you will achieve Buddhahood. Before Buddhahood, you will achieve emotional freedom. You will achieve emotional freedom. You will sense peace and happiness. And things will not disturb you at all, I promise. Things will not disturb you. Things that ordinarily disturb you will not. What's the difference in that? You don't suffer. You don't make other people suffer. And then you can share this with others. That's what taking suffering means. Doesn't mean when someone's getting beaten, you stand there and ask them to beat you instead. If someone's in jail and you haven't done anything and you can be more beneficial out of jail, you say, I'll go to jail for them instead. That's not compassion. That's silliness. Taking on the sufferings of others means emotional responsibility. Right now, sitting here listening, taking notes and saying, I'm going to practice this, is taking on responsibility, absorbing the sufferings of others. Why are you here? So that you can benefit others by benefiting yourself. This is taking on sufferings for others. It's time. It's time. It's time to take on sufferings of others without recognition. It's time to burden yourselves for others without recognition. Because in burdening yourself, you will not feel burdened anymore. Because you build up that mental strength and courage. We all need this. What I'm speaking to you has nothing to do with religion almost. It has to do with our human existence. That's the beauty of Buddha's teachings. We're talking about our human existence. And I'm not just telling you, be nice, be nice, be nice. I'm giving you a method. I'm telling you why. I'm telling you the cause. I'm telling you the result. I'm giving you the whole spectrum. It isn't just, be nice. I'm on a pulpit holding my Lamrim book and waving the Buddha at you. You got to be nice, or you're going to go to the 18 lower hells. You got to be nice, or you're going to be a pig on a farm again. You got to listen to the good book. If you don't listen to the good book, you will be damned. We don't need a good book or no good book to be damned. We're already damning ourselves by not being nice. It's not about that. If we take on the sufferings of others by being responsible, by keeping our commitments, by holding our vows, by developing a mind that gains courage and strength, that's how we take on the sufferings of others. If we do that, contrary to being afraid of getting more sufferings, you will be free from sufferings. You will be free. Contrary, some people think, oh God, I've got enough problems. I've got enough issues. I've got enough emotional ups and downs. I don't want more problems. My life is fabulous. I don't need more problems. Some people say, take on the problems of others. No, I can't. They're scared. Why? Because they don't understand the real nature of taking on the sufferings of others. They don't understand the real result. They're not stupid. They're ignorant. That's why we attend Dharma teachings. When we absorb the sufferings of others and the problems of others, we become people like Mother Teresa. Do you think she suffered? Do you think Mother Teresa suffered? She lived in suffering. Suffering was around her. Do you think she suffered? Do you think that lady suffered? No. Because she chose to take on the sufferings of everyone. She never suffered a day. Even to this day, her blessings are very strong in the world. When we talk about her, what do we identify? How do we feel? Is it about Christianity and Buddhism? No. It's about her going back to her real self, taking on the sufferings of others, helping others. Just the name is Buddha, a God, and Christ. In our case, it's Buddha and karma. Just a name. Why argue about that? Why? Absorb and take on the sufferings of others and difficulties of others by being responsible, by transforming your mind, by keeping your commitments, by being true to your guru, by doing your practice. And you'll see your mind grow. You'll see courage grow. You'll see disappointments become less. And I promise you, taking on the burdens of others, you will not feel burdened. You will not. On the contrary, you will feel very happy. Right now, not taking on the burdens of others, not taking on the responsibilities of others, just taking yourself and not even taking your own responsibilities. How much fear it creates. How much unhappiness do we experience? How much disappointment do we create? How much pain do we create to others? By not even taking care of our own responsibilities. But when we take care, if we look around us to people who take care of the responsibility, become better, how much happiness they bring to people around them. How much inspiration do we create to other people? When we look at someone who takes responsibility, how much do they inspire us and they get our respect, and how much do they benefit? So therefore, if we don't take responsibility even for ourselves, how much problems do we make for people around us? Each time people say something to us and no one's watching, we don't do our work. When they're watching, we do our work. How much suffering does that create? For others and ourselves. How much suffering? Very simple. Don't think any deeper. Suspicion, disrespect, and people lose confidence in us. How much? When we have to be told what to do. When we watch, we do it. When we don't watch, we don't do. How much? When we promise a timeline or a deadline, or we promise some commitment, we promise some whatever to people, and we don't do it, how much doubt and unhappiness does it create in other people's mind? We created that. If they yell at us and we shout back and we become their enemy, we tell people their anger is them. We did that. It's not them. We did that. We did that. Is that spiritual? Not keeping your promise and timelines and what you committed to is not spiritual. Why? You're making people unhappy. Very simple. And then you're praying and chanting and having altars and say you're in the Dharma. So if we take our own responsibility, we already make ourselves and people around us happier. You know why? Less fear. Less fear of being caught. Less fear of being 저단당. Less fear of being scolded. Less fear of criticism. Less fear of being discovered and found out. Already we feel happy. We're more relaxed. We don't have to defend and protect. And then if we take responsibility for other people, the feeling we have for taking it for ourselves will increase even more. Contrary to having fear of taking other people's sufferings and therefore we suffer more, that is a mind who doesn't understand the nature of sufferings and its antidote. That mind will be afraid of taking on other people's sufferings and having courage. Why? That mind doesn't understand the real nature, cause, and antidote to hardship and suffering. Very simple. Do you think truly enlightened and spiritual people suffer? They don't. Never mind high lamas like Dalai Lama and Mother Teresa. Never mind those high lamas like them. Even if we look at a wonderful country woman in the villages In our own countries, where we see a wonderful, hearty countrywoman who's giving, who shares her milk with other people, who shares her bread, who's very open with her farm, who's easy, who's accepting, who's kind. Everybody flocks to this person. Everybody goes to this wonderful countrywoman who's not even educated, but her kindness and her love and her openness and her ability to take responsibility challenges our fears and inspires us to transform. Buddhism is a beautiful method for developing courage, taking responsibility, pushing ourselves to do more for others, and to realize there is no fear in that. Don't be afraid to do more. Don't be afraid. There is no fear to do more. If you understand the nature of the mind, its causes and antidotes, and that's what we're learning. Accept other people's difficulties. Give over your happiness. Start with your commitments and practice. And study. Start with that. Start with the very people that we live with and the very people we work with. To be responsible, to be open, to be generous, to do what we're supposed to do without being told and reminded. Start our Dharma practice with the very people we live with and the very people we work with. To be open and generous, to take responsibility, to not be reminded and pushed for what we're supposed to do. Start now. Start your practice this moment. Start immediately. And when you slip, push yourself. Start now. That is your yidam. That is your mantra. Don't wait for things to go wrong. Things will go wrong. Do you know samsara? Everything for everybody else all around goes wrong. Why won't it go wrong for yourself? It will go wrong. It's a natural state of existence. Up and down, up and down. Don't wait for down. You're up now. You're really up now. Start your Dharma practice now. Take responsibility. Do your work. Do what you're supposed to do. Start now so that you don't burden anyone else. Remember, inverted commas. Suffer and take on burden for the Dharma. Inverted commas, suffer. Actually, it's not suffering. Do it happily. Don't complain. By complaining, we encourage our negative, neurotic mind to have a chance to surface again. Be happy. Be energetic. Be happy to suffer. I'm not trying to be poetic. Be happy to suffer. It's possible. Our own mothers have suffered for us so much for many years while we were in her womb. By reflecting on the kindness of the mother, according to Shantideva, we realize there is compassion in the world. If there is compassion of that of a mother for her child, then there's definitely the compassion of a Buddha. It's all connected because there are different stages. Definitely the compassion of a Buddha for all of us is much greater than the compassion of a mother for her child. But the mother's compassion for a child is greater than the compassion we have at this point. One step leads to another. So if a compassion of a mother for her child is real and tangible, compassion is tangible. If compassion is tangible, there should be no limit to compassion. If there's no limit to compassion, definitely there must be existing Buddhas with much greater compassion than what we have that's achievable. Very logical. Very clear. Don't think it's some faraway, distant, exotic word or wish. It can be achieved. It must be achieved. It is a natural evolution for us to achieve compassion. It is a natural evolution. Why? We're secure, comfortable, happy, and at peace when we're compassionate. It's very natural. It's very natural to be compassionate. Very natural. And when we engage in the tantric practices that expedite, it's like taking an airplane to a location as opposed to a train, then tantric results will come. do not think there are people without tantric results. There are people living today, walking and among us today, who definitely have tantric results. Definitely. Be happy to suffer, starting with the people around us and starting with the people we work with. Be happy. Be very happy. You can pick be unhappy suffering or happy suffering. If you're happy suffering, the suffering will change. It will not be suffering anymore. You make a pick. How wonderful it is for us to get together and to have an aspiration to make things better. That's why we're feeling happy. We're not feeling happy because the speaker spoke well. We're feeling happy is because the speaker has reminded us of something that's inside of all of us. And when we tap into it, we feel very happy. That's why we feel happy at this time.